Welcome back. This is the DT Corey. Today we're going to reply to something Trent Horn said on his YouTube channel in reply to the Jeff Kastman and Brother Peter Diamond debate. So let's go ahead and play the clip.
Nostra Aetate says, although the church is the new people of God, the Jews should not be presented as rejected or accursed by God, as if this followed from the Holy Scriptures. In fact, St. Paul said of the Jewish people in Romans 11:28-29, as regards the gospel, they are enemies of God for your sake. But as regards election, they are beloved for the sake of their forefathers. For the gifts and the call of God are irrevocable. In other words, the Jews in Paul's time who rejected the gospel were still part of God's plan because of the promises God made to their ancestors. The Jews were not rejected by God because God's calling of them is irrevocable. This even made it possible for St. Paul to speculate a few verses earlier that, quote, all Israel will be saved.
That Protestants and schismatics who reject the papacy.
Contrary to what Trent Horn says here, the church fathers and illustrious biblical commentators tell us that the Jews are accursed and rejected by God according to Scripture. To illustrate this point, I will be quoting the Haydock Commentary of the Douay-Rheims Bible. Commentary on Matthew 27, verse 25, quote, all the people answered, his blood be upon us and upon our children, which continues, saith St. Jerome to this day. Then Pilate delivered to them Jesus to be crucified. This blasphemous prayer continues to this day and will continue a protracted curse upon the Jews and upon their posterity. Origin. Behold the insanity of the Jews. Their passion and pertinacious obstinacy will not suffer them to see and understand. They draw down curses upon themselves in these terrible imprecations. His blood be upon us and upon our children. End quote. Commentary on Romans, chapter 9, verse 27, quote, St. Paul is here speaking of the reprobation of the Jews and of the vocation of the Gentiles, and foretells us that a remnant or small number of the children of Israel shall be converted and saved. In the sense of St. Paul, we sincerely hope and confidently trust the remnant of all will be saved through a timely conversion. But we nowhere read in the Old or New Scriptures that a remnant of all will be saved, as if it were a matter of indifference to what society or connection a Christian was joined. End quote. Commentary on Romans, chapter 11, verse 16. The Jews were his chosen people, the children of the alliance. They have now been stripped of all. End quote. It should be obvious by now that Nostra Aetate contradicts Scripture, because an official Catholic commentary tells us that the Jews are accursed, while Vatican II says the opposite. Hopefully Trent Horn can correct his error on this point.